Hello, everyone. We are here today for the Unicorn Battle in North America, where the best local startups will pitch live to our great expert board and the audience worldwide. But before we start, let me invite our CEO of Unicorn.Events, Anna Fedorova. Anna?
Hi, Julia again. Am I great to be here today for the last battle in summer season? We will finally discover who is that great startup from North America that is worth pitching in front of the world audience and defending this wonderful region. Today, we will be discovering the innovations through the United States and Canada. And only the best startup will get the direct license to pitch in our Unicorn Cup. And all our events all over the world are happening thanks to our sponsors. Platinum sponsor, Network VC California Seed Fund, our silver sponsor, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, our golden sponsor, and silver sponsor, Startup Inc. and Improvado. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. And our Summer Cup is upcoming only in 1 week. It will be July 15th, when all people from all over the world will be watching whose country, whose region is the hottest startup this summer. So be sure to be there. We'll be broadcasting, but live presence means live interaction with our top juries and all the startups that they are here. We have been doing our events for 12 years already in all countries of the world, have done enormous number of them offline and online. They're mainly online right now, and we keep growing constantly, so be sure to stay with us. Our startups are doing really good by finding the attention of the investors and real investors through our network, because our VC community keeps constantly growing. Our angel network keeps expanding. So please join us to see the best startups to find great deals. And you can do also business with us. If you are a leader of startup or VC community within your country, city, or region, be sure to get in touch with me or our event managers, and we will talk how you can do unicorn pitches in your location, because this is the way to become really global. This is a way to help startups wherever you are. And please sign to our YouTube channel. Help us to reach all those startups that are there. You can find there great life hacks, how to fundraise, how to interact with investors directly. You can see interviews with the top VCs. So if you haven't been to Unicorn.Events channel in YouTube, please go there, sign, put likes to the videos you see there. And I would like to introduce you to our great ecosystem, Startup Network. It's the heart of our ecosystem, and it's a meeting place for startups, businesses, investors, and service providers. Startup Inc. Startup Inc. is an investor onboarding and management platform to get an access to exclusive deals with experienced VCs, only with 1K entry. And Unicorn.Events is the world's largest startup pitch contest. VC House is a closed online community and network created exclusively for the VCs, where they can exchange deals that participating as a lead investor. Network Investments is a special meeting point for investment banks, startups, and brokers. Silicon Valley Syndicate Club is a structure that allows business angels to invest into the best startups with small checks through syndicate deals. And Network VC, our seed fund and main center of venture activities. And right now, I am returning the floor to our wonderful host for today, our event manager for the region, Julia. Julia, please tell us what we're gonna see today.
Thank you, Anna, for your wonderful presentation. And from my side, I'd like to remind you that we are live and broadcasting all over the world. So please feel free to share the links within your network so everyone can see that you are online. You can find them in our chat. And moreover, I'd like to present our amazing media partners. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Happy Farm, Go Global, Startups Magazine, Drift, Med Labs, and Fever. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support of our events. And please welcome our perfect, excellent official judges. And Anna, please, I kindly ask you to present them today.
Of course, Julia, it's an honor to do that because our official judges, they play a special role. They are representing some region or they are representing some industry and they will be judging the startups on behalf of this industry or region. And let me start with Alexander Soroka, who is a founder and CEO of Startup Network, which is a global ecosystem. And Alexander will tell what industry they invest in, what ticket size, and what startup they're looking for. Alexander?
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna. Hello, everybody. Glad to see you on our today's unicorn battle in North America. Our funds usually invest up to 500K today. We are industry agnostic, we are geographically agnostic, but we prefer to invest on seed and round A stage. And so this is probably all, Anna, from my side.
Okay, but not for long. Don't forget that you will be asked to ask questions, and also you will be telling what startups are your favorite ones after the pitch session. Okay. And I would like to introduce Jim Thomas, who's representing Florida state in the USA. He's the partner at Karanega Partners. Jim, welcome.
Good morning from Florida. Great to be with you guys again. Yep, as you mentioned, I'm with Karanega Partners. We say we take great ideas and make them into globally changing companies. Our check size is usually from 500,000 to 2 to 3 million in the seed stage, and then we could do some follow-on in Series A or Series B. Yeah, we look for great founders with great ideas, and we love, we're based here in Florida, but we invest across the country and around the world. So great to be with you.
Wonderful, welcome, thank you. And I would like to introduce you to our Canadian official judge, Kelly, who is founder at Men's International. Kelly? I see Kelly online. Please help her to unmute herself. Kelly? Yes, please unmute yourself.
Sorry for that. Hi, Anna. Hello,
Hi.
everyone. My name is Kelly Law, founder and investor of Men's International, based in Toronto, Canada. We also have office in Shanghai, China. Thank you again, Alex, Anna, and Julia for having me. We are actually interested in deep tech, especially artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and advanced materials for the manufacturing and healthcare sector. As I mentioned last time, we recently launched our new fund of $30 million. And I wish everybody all the best. Thank you.
Welcome, Kelly. Great to have you. And please welcome Marisa Alma, another wonderful woman on our official judges board. She is speaking right from the center of Silicon Valley. Am I right, Marisa?
Yes, I'm still here.
Wonderful. And Marisa is LP at Bloomberg Capital and Golden Seed Silicon Valley alumni. Welcome, Marisa.
Hi, good luck to all the startups, and it's a pleasure to see all the judges here. I recognize a lot of you. I do either direct investments, and also I'm a member of the Silicon Valley Venture Fund, and I just invested in 2 companies last week that were with Startup Network, and I'm really excited. With Bloomberg, they invest up to $10 million. They are geographically agnostic. They tend to specialize in fintech and cyber defense, and also big data. They just had a recent exit through SPAC, which I'm happy about. And then Golden Seeds invests only in women-founded startups, and their check size is 250 to 2.5 million. Okay, thank you, and good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Marisa. Welcome. And let me introduce Keith Herman. I know he's in Beverly Hills, and from that Hollywood location, he will be also judging our startups on behalf of that region, and he's founder and CEO at IPA Equities. Keith, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Today, I happen to be in Miami at our offices here and working with some companies that we've been invested in for quite some time. IPA Equities is over 20 years old, and we've been investing in technology for quite a long time. We invest worldwide, primarily in what we call layered technologies. So give you an example would be, let's say, blockchain and AI or healthcare and artificial intelligence. We look for platforms that have the ability to scale exponentially. Check sizes are between 2 to 10 million. And you're happy, I'm happy to talk to anybody about a project that they have or Series A or later. So I know for startups, that's maybe not ideal at the moment, but keep us in mind as you scale. And you can reach me at kh@ipaequities.com. And look forward to hearing these great startups, and great to see all the judges here. And thank you to Alexander, Anna, Marina, Julia, the whole team. Always excited to see them. So good luck to everyone.
Welcome, Keith. And couple more official judges will be logging in a little bit later. They're experiencing technical problems and writing me, so we can move to introducing the expert board. Julia, I'm back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me introduce our wonderful expert board. I'm happy to see you all here. And before we start the introduction, I'd ask you to click on the button raise hand if you'd like to present yourself, and we will ask you one by one. So please, who would like to be the first one? Feel free, don't shy. Just a few words about the fund you present, industry, region, and average check size.
Yeah, there is no special line, just push raise hand and you will be on.
Okay, I'll ask to present Anil Joshi. Are you with us?
Hey, hi, Julia.
Hi, nice to meet you. How are you?
Hey, hi, good morning, everyone. This is Anil from India. I run an early stage venture fund. We are currently in our second fund, portfolio of 25 companies, invest anything around $500,000 to $2 million, focusing on tech-based companies. And we also have a small fund in UK, which is a cross-border fund. And we have a portfolio of 7 companies there. Excited to hear you all, and wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And the next one maybe will be Slava Pilistny. Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you. Well, I'm presenting, my name is Slava Pilistny. I'm presenting Network Investments, which is one of the companies in the ecosystem of Startup Network. What we do here is that we create a network of investment professionals and investment bankers so that we could enlarge our deal floors and exchange deals within this network. So if you're a startup and looking for fundraising, then we could help you, especially for your later stages. And we're also looking for partners. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here. And let me ask to present Alexei Zverkov.
I see Dmitry has raised hand from DTech.
Dmitry Chernyukhov, please.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you for having me today. My name is Dmitry Chernucha. I am Innovation Manager at DTech. And 2 words about DTech's business and our approach. DTech is the largest private investor in energy sector in Ukraine. And the company provides business in 7 primary areas, such as energy generation. We have thermal and renewables, natural gas production, electricity distribution, client-oriented services, trading, and education. DTech has a team of 15 innovation managers led by Chief Innovation Officer Emanuele Volpe. We aren't invest in startups, but innovation team promote an open innovation approach. Thus, the team searches for innovative solutions and products worldwide and builds partnership with key stakeholders like startups, customers, suppliers, funds, universities, and corporations. That's why I'm here. And we are open to collaboration. Our business innovation challenges you can find on our web platform, openinnovation.dtech.com. And I wish all of you good luck and make a great speech to all startup teams. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy to see you here today. Please, Garu.
We can move on.
Yeah. Please, Anna. Okay. Gaurav, are you hear me? Okay, guys, let's go to the next judge.
Let's move on. Please tell judges how to vote.
Yeah, please. Today, you can start voting using your voting link. I've sent it previously in your private message. Please just click on this link and you will redirect it to our startups profiles, and you can evaluate their investment potential from 1 till 5. Also, you can change your marks during the pitch session. And if you will have some problems, technical issues, please let us know in private message to my support team. Find them in the list of participants. And also, I'd like to ask you to raise your hand when you're ready to ask questions after the startup pitch. Dear startups, happy to see you today. And we have 7 great startups from the USA and Canada. And because we are broadcasting today, I'd ask you not to mention fundraising outline, because in some countries there are restrictions in this regards. And also be sure that your presentation is only 3 minutes. And also you have 5 minutes for Q&A session. Okay, let's get started. And the first startup for today is BioTrillion. Please welcome Savan Devani from the USA, California.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hi, Savan.
Hi, great. Well, thanks for having us. Thank you to Unicorn.Events for putting this on. My name is Savan Devani, founder and CEO of BioTrillion. We are a digital health startup focused on digital biomarkers for diseases. Specifically, we are focused at the intersection of computer vision and physiology. The smartphone's optical hardware is what we believe one of the most under-leveraged modalities of information measurement as applied to health. If you think about it, how often do you use your smartphone's camera for any health purposes? Yet it's the piece of hardware that advances year after year. And you look at your phone 100 times a day, which means your phone looks at you 100 times a day. And your eyes and face contain more information about your health than any other surface area of your body. I'm going to focus a little bit specifically on the pupil. Your eye is an extension of your brain, and your pupil's spatial and temporal changes at the milliscale can give you a lot of information about the function of your brain, both acutely and longitudinally. As I mentioned, I'm the founder and CEO, and we built a team focused right at the intersection of computer vision and physiology. My background, as you'll see on the left, I'm a bioengineer by training, undergrad and grad school, and then I spent 14 years on Wall Street focused on drugs, devices, and diagnostics, and have built out a team both with an equal representation of tech and bio. Similarly, built out the cap table with the same philosophy, and we've raised 2.2 million to date from folks from marquee institutions across AI, tech, and health. So more specifically on urology, we all know that the healthcare is broken, but neurology is even more broken. If you think about the way brain diseases are being measured, they're qualitative, invasive, expensive. Most of the endpoints in neurology are all subjective and qualitative. And it's one of the largest reasons why we haven't seen as much innovation on the drug side. And we need to change that. We believe that the future can not only be more quantitative and objective, but it could also be more independent. And so we use the eye, as you see on the left, clinically has been used for decades as a window into the brain, both by ER physicians, neurologists, for stroke, for drug overdoses. So it's well established, but it's been used very analog. And we can now do this on our smartphone. And I will show you an example of an application. We built out a front-end mobile app to do the measures prospectively. All of the metrics are familiar to neurologists when we look at the pupil and its constriction to various stimuli and its dilation to stimuli as well. I'm going to show you a demo of one application and being able to detect drug-based impairment, which you'll see here with Elon Musk, who was on a podcast smoking marijuana, and you will see how we were able to detect him pre and post drug very objectively.
I'm sorry, Sawan, for jumping into, but your time is up. Yeah, you can share.
I'll skip the demo. I'll skip the demo and wrap up then. We believe that pharma is our first go-to-market channel, and followed by.
I'm sorry, Sawan. Unfortunately, your time is up, and we should start to go to the QA session. Sorry, you can share your demo link in private message if you'd like, but we are limited in time. So we are moving to our expert board. Please give me your comments, maybe suggestions, questions. Feel free to ask.
Yeah, Jim Thomas here. Yeah, great. I think you're barking up the right tree. So this would be an app you would download, and also the front-facing camera on most phones would be powerful enough to do what you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. They're getting better every year, and we need only an iPhone 10 and equivalent vintage or above.
Great. And then I think you're about to say, what's your go-to-market strategy?
Yeah, so the first market we believe is pharma. Now, we can detect drugs, and there's definitely applications there in, for example, the transportation market, ride sharing, pilots, delivery. But on the healthcare side, we think a much larger market is on the pharma side, specifically in being able to provide pharma with much more quantitative endpoints in trials for Alzheimer's. And then, of course, providers via telehealth.
Good. Thank you so much. I have a question from Kate, please.
Hi, two questions quickly. Where are you in your roadmap and what do you need the money for?
Yeah, so we are ready to launch. We need the money to run a much larger prospective clinical trial. I'll show you some of the data from a small trial that we did, but we need to do this at a much higher powered number for both drug use and then for Alzheimer's. We believe our technology can be used for Alzheimer's screening. So that's where largely most of the capital will go, and then for commercialization. And then we believe we have more digital biomarkers outside of neurology, which we want to develop. Well, we haven't started on that part yet.
Great, thank you so much. It was Startup BioTrillion, Savan Devani. Thank you for your presentation. And we should move forward to the next participant from Canada. Please welcome Startup Elocity Tech and Mike Elwood. Hi, Mike. Mike, are you here? Okay, Mike is, are you muted, I guess?
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm trying to just get my screen shared here for you, going through this process again.
Yeah, please, no worries.
You know.
Good.
I hope you can see it.
Yeah, make it full.
There we go. Everybody can see that. I'll start my clock right now. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, thanks everybody. Appreciate the time. I'm going to talk a little bit about the electric vehicle space. Just before I get into the presentation, I've been in it for about 20 years, so I'm an industry veteran. You can tell by the gray hair possibly. But here's Elocity in 3 minutes or less. Canadian company which has proprietary technology in managing the grid and EV charging for utilities, primarily homes, public and private parking, fleets and such. So in this space where I've been residing for 20 years, there's been a lot of activity in the charging sector and the infrastructure side of the business, and a number of companies have created what I would call silos of confusion. Our main objective is to remove the barriers to allow EV adoption to become prevalent and to make it really simple for people to charge their vehicles. And we do this through some interesting excuse me, proprietary technology. The first home smart plug for EV charging. As well, we utilize AI, we utilize IoT and blockchain in our offering. We have an app, like everybody else these days. We have an app that controls the charge and helps you manage, and the utilities manage the grid. So at home, work, or wherever. This is our stack, our tech stack. Essentially, on the left there is our plug. That's the proprietary technology, and in that plug, we call it the Hive. It has abundance of intelligence, which allows data gathering and control, which then allows machine learning. We can understand how people charge, what their needs are for charging, and so on. And it streams through a charge point management system, which allows us to work in the marketplace with all EV chargers that are out there. So it's taking the EV charging infrastructure that exists today and bringing it to one platform. So there's over 200 different EV chargers out there right now, manufacturers. We are able to connect to all of them. And for those who know the industry, there's networked and non-networked chargers. We can work with both. We can take a non-network charger, or as they call it in the industry, a dumb charger, and then make it smart by adding the Hive technology to it. Our focus is optimizing grids and working with utilities primarily in a lot of cases, but also making home charging very simple. This is an example just of one of our parking deployments that we've deployed. Just to give an idea there, you'll see the hive above the chargers. And we're located in Toronto, but we're throughout Asia, Middle East, and Europe. And that's 3 minutes. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. It was Startup Elocity Tech. And the first question from Kate, please.
Can you talk to us about the cost of the device and what exactly, what do you need the capital for, and how much is going to go towards the actual manufacturing of the product?
So where we're at right now is we're just putting together our pre-production products. So we'll have 200 pre-production products out into the market being tested with multiple utilities. The plan is to, and the cost of the MSRP is around $500. So it's significantly less than anything in the market right now. We were looking at manufacturing probably as early as November, just due to some demand that we're already seeing. So we're trying to ramp up. We've got a project or a partner for production, Celestica. So that's where our funding would go. The funding would go to ramp up manufacturing and to scale.
Great, thank you for your answer. Please, question from Alexander.
Do you understand correctly that you are on the pre-revenue stage today?
No, we're actually generating revenue right now. We're not generating significant amounts of revenue, but we are generating revenue.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell me maybe once more about the product? I did not quite catch. So yeah.
So here's what it does. If everybody's familiar with EV charging out there, level 2 DCFCs and all the different variables that are out there right now to charge vehicles in the public sector or the public marketplace, and or at home, like in my garage here as a level 2 charger. This replaces the home level 2 charger, which right now the cost of a level 2 charger for home is anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. This replaces that. It allows the vehicle and the grid and the grid to speak to it, the home, and to load level and manage load. So in the marketplace, the application would be where we will be marrying it up with non-network chargers to make them smart. So this device is very, very smart. We call it the hive, similar to a beehive with all the bees working inside and all that kind of stuff. But it's really a technological device, and it advances the EV charging opportunity, and the grid, the utilities really like it because of the blockchain that we're implementing with it for security purposes, and it's immutable that way. There's a number of other features that we have in it.
Thank you.
Good, and please quick answer for Jim.
Yeah, I was curious, is it more B2B or B2C? And then you didn't mention, would this be a competitor to Tesla and Tesla owners, or would
No, it's complementary. Yeah. It's complementary. Okay. So let's take a Tesla owner. Tesla owner puts a Tesla charger in their garage or at their place of residence. The Tesla charger is a non-network charger because it's just looking after Tesla. It speaks to it as it's on a Tesla network. The utility can't speak to that Tesla charger in the person's garage at home. So if we add this device to that garage or beside the Tesla charger, near the Tesla charger, it is now networked, and the utility can then control. And some of the OEs don't really like the idea of the utilities controlling the charge, but the utilities like it because they are the ones that are going to bear the brunt of brownouts and transformers blowing if they can't manage grid load. And this allows them to do that through a secure application. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks.
Good. Thank you so much, Mike. Unfortunately, we are limited in time, so please judge. If you have more questions, feel free to ask founder in private message. And we go to the third startup, which is Creama from the USA. Please welcome Thomas Riviello.
Hi, guys. Welcome. Thank you for your time today. So I'd like to introduce Creama to you. Creama is our all-in-one AI-generated graphic design tool that helps you design, personalize, and advertise in a matter of minutes. So imagine you're a small business owner and you spent some money on marketing campaigns, right? But you're not getting much return on your investment. Your CTR is very low, maybe at 3%, and you're not quite sure why. Well, the problem is presentation, right? It's all about presentation. So the image you see to your right is a prime example of a poor choice for a graphic visual. I mean, would you click on this to buy something? Beautiful, captivating images can increase your engagement rate by up to 80%. But it can be time consuming and cost prohibitive. So can you create beautiful designs without a designer? Well, at Creama, we think you can. In fact, we've developed this tool that generates custom creations or custom creatives in minutes, and it allows you to fire them out very, very quickly in a matter of moments. So very simple process. First, you describe your company, your product in a short text. Next, you're going to upload your logo and set your preferences such as color, style, etc. And then our AI is going to render multiple visuals for your product, which can easily be customized and shared instantly via any of your marketing channels. It's a fast and user-friendly process that puts all the control in the client's hands. Now, our AI is very robust. It allows you to analyze the text and transforms it into a suitable image, ensuring the best possible outcome. All right, so we can use this to create many, many images, including graphic designs from websites, book covers, postcards, post images, and thumbnails. As you can see, we can also utilize simple animations as well, if you look at the bottom right. So our focus is primarily on creating market visuals to help the unique experience of visual marketing for companies and marketing agencies. With Creama, users can create various personalized images, both static and simple animations, for each segment of their ad campaigns in minutes. As you can see, there's about a $45 billion market for graphic design, and 36% of that is actually coming from online tools like Creama. So the current solutions that are out there are very repetitive, right? They're all copy and paste, stock templates, things like that. We decided to go in a different direction and create something entirely different, right? So our AI is unique because it's not a template. It's all generated based on your keywords. So the unique designs and the IP stays in the client's hands, right? So it's obvious there's a lot of competition in this market, but we want to introduce something that is entirely new, a creative machine, hence Creama. So with Creama, you get unique layouts, customized ads, and automatic resizing to fire off any social media or email campaigns, all while creating a personalized experience for the clients without a pre-made template or copyright infringements. So we're offering a subscription-based model. You can see here we have a base version, a pro version, and then an institutional version for corporations. Our roadmap, we're in the middle of our beta testing right now. We've got a prototype.
I'm sorry, Thomas, your time is up. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately.
Thank you guys for your time.
Yes, thank you so much. It was Startup Creama. Please, the first question from Alexander.
Hello, Thomas. What do you think is your real, what is the real size of your market? How much can you sell in the future?
Well, see, what we're thinking about is, obviously we're focusing on business-to-business sales right now. We're kind of looking at a campaign to get partners set up around the world, right? So if you're a small marketing agency or a freelancer, we feel like there's a lot of opportunity to use this because of the cost in graphic design, the costs associated with it. With drop shipping, with social media, you know, everybody wants to sell something on social media. So we feel that there's really a great opportunity, not only for the business-to-business sales, but also for B2C sales at some point.
But what are your assumptions in terms of money about the size of the market for you?
So for us, we're looking at our market growth, or our potential growth is we look to hit revenue of 1.4 million and over 1 million users by 2023. We feel that if we scale up by 2025, so 4 years from now, we can hit about 16 million in revenue and 10 million in users.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, question from Kit.
As I'm thinking about this, for companies, large companies who are trying to find consistent branding,
right?
You're constantly generating something that's completely unique. So how do you address that when a company says, but it's not consistent with our branding?
I think that's part of the luxury of our app, you know, so it is unique, but it's not conformed. So what we think that you can do is customize everything. So you get the product, you get everything set up, and you can set it on kind of a how can I say this? Some sort of schedule, right? So you want it to be all uniformed. So you can have some of these unique uniform cutouts and fire them off. So I guess to answer your question more directly, we're not really targeting those bigger agencies that are looking for the consistency. We're looking for somebody that wants to create something on their own. You know, so like I said, smaller independent freelancers, you know, people using social media, and those marketing agencies that are in smaller markets, right? I mean, obviously you're in LA, Miami, there's marketing agencies everywhere. But when you get to, you know, the middle of the country and kind of going out globally, it can get very expensive and time consuming. So that's kind of our niche market.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Thomas. It was Startup Creama.
Thank you.
Really glad to hear you today. And let me introduce our next participant, Startup Refyn from Canada, please. Elshanan Rustain. Elshanan, you hear me? Because you're muted.
I'm sharing the screen right now.
Yeah, please.
Presentation. Okay, everybody see that?
Good, yeah, you can start.
Okay, I will start. 3 minutes is not a lot of time. We reinvented the cognitive AI. And if you're searching Zika inside this database, you will not find this word. And this is Google, actually Google search, which they employ. That will find nothing, zero, it's zippers. If Refyn will be enabled, you will get virus and product that related to virus prevention. How we do that? That's the traditional AI. Our new AI is based that we're not searching for words like Google and any other search. We are basically taking apart the meaning of the word, the meaning of the search. And for example, toilet paper, we'll be searching for something white, soft, and toilet and wall. So we don't, that's how we can find pictures, images, videos, and we can help with banking, AML, anti-money laundering, cybersecurity, and so on, and cardless and driverless autonomous cars, which we can help to determine errors. Because again, we know this is an AI, we know index, AI that train itself. It's not just a search. The search is the first implementation, which we have customers for. We intend to go to AML, anti-money laundering, which is suffering for a lot of errors. And we do that with cybersecurity and AML and other systems, banking and industry, which we can get just better understand about what people, staff, products, anything that's above and beyond the understanding of the simple meaning. If the system cannot find, it basically go and learn from Google or Microsoft and any other traditional search engine is going to learn what to do, what is that meaning. So basically the system, that's how the system can learn itself, but we're also building in our system that will be independent. It not has to be to go to Google if something cannot found, which is very rare. We have a very good success. We have for customers that implemented it, they saw 40% growth in revenue. And if I have time, I can show you more data about it. And definitely it's a very successful product for AI.
Okay, thank you so much. It was Elshanan from Refyn. We have the first question from Marisa, please. Marisa? Oh, maybe it was.
Is it a search engine? And then what's your target market?
In the beginning, we implemented inside the search box. So every website, like e-commerce or text websites, have a search box. So this is the first implementation. It's not, we have plugins for WordPress, Magento, Shopify, and we're now working on the big companies with Sora and Elasticsearch. So this is a complementary product to the search. But this is just the first solution. We are now working to implement it on many systems that when they hit the error, we take the error over, we fix the error, because this is AI that thinks differently.
Good, thank you so much. We have a question from Alexander.
Hello. This is a really probably hard startup, a hard technology to create. Do you really have a great team? Can you tell us about the team?
Yes, we have a team that develop it. Basically, every day we're developing the product. We also have the product is now implemented into app games that we can make the app games much more smarter. And we have a research team based on 2 PhDs working now on autonomous driverless cars to fix the 1% error which can kill people on the road. And we have proof that we can take off the 1% error and fix it.
Okay. Can you show your team on the slide, or you don't have?
Sorry?
Do you have your team on the slide?
Not on this slide, just show time. If you have more time, you can show more screen. If you want, I can share another slides with the teams. And
you still can.
Yeah, so I can do that.
Show us the team.
Just a second. Yeah. Let's go through quickly to the slides. This is the results I spoke before, and these are the team.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Or you can share this slide with Alexander in private message, so feel free. And thank you so much. It was Elshanan from the startup Refyn. And let me introduce the next our participant. It's the winner of the Unicorn Pitch in New York, VoxCell BioInnovation, and its wonderful founder, Carolina.
Julia, thank you. I'm just sharing my screen here. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Carolina Valente, and I'm the CEO of VoxCell BioInnovation. And we are developing innovative solutions for the pharmaceutical industry and the field of oncology research. Did you know that last year alone, more than 10 million people died from cancer? That's about 27,000 people dying every day. With such a devastating disease, you would expect to have the appropriate drugs to treat it. And the problem is the drug development process, the process used by pharmaceutical companies to develop new drugs, in which 95% of the drugs fail to get to the market. And this high failure rate happens because models used to test these drugs in the lab, they are just too simplistic. So when these drugs are tested in people, the results don't match, and the correlation is less than 8%. But VoxCell has the solution. At VoxCell, we are 3D bioprinting cancer tissue models so pharmaceutical companies can test their drugs, creating more consistent results and allowing drugs to hit the market sooner. We are the first company in the world coupling a high-resolution bioprinter that we have created with a vasculature generation software. This software is our trade secret, our secret sauce, and allows us to print tissue models with blood vessels, truly mimicking the human body. We offer 2 core products, vascularized cancer tissue models as a service, and our printer coupled with our software, allowing users to print the same tissue models in just 1 click. And the market opportunity is amazing. The global drug discovery market is expected to reach $110 billion by 2025, with North America being responsible for 30%. So VoxCell capturing 1% can lead to a $300 million revenue. Our customers will range from academia all the way to pharmaceutical companies. We believe that academia and small research centers will be focused on the tissue models as a service, while the big institutions and the big pharma will be buying the printer as a tool to have in the lab to print as many tissue models as they want. We'll be hitting the market next year with our consumables first, and that will allow VoxCell to have recurring revenue while we continue the development of our hardware and software to hit the market in 2023. And of course, we do have competition. And even though our competitors have been quite good on what they do, none of them have focused on creating truly biomimetic cancer tissue models. And that's the meaningful gap that VoxCell is going towards. While they focus on the machine, we focus on the machine and also on the product that comes out of our machine. Our revenue projections expected to reach $35 million by 2026. And this has only been possible by having an amazing team with extensive experience in business, tissue engineering, and bioprinting. And the vision that I have for this company is simple: is to create, to become the gold standard for cancer tissue models. For our mission, the most important part is to take these life-saving therapies to the market and to the hands of people that need sooner. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carolina. It was started by VoxCell BioInnovation. And please, first question from Alexander.
Hello. Can you tell more about your team? The same question, data, because the product is really tough.
Absolutely. So I'm the CEO. My PhD, my background is in tissue engineering and bioprinting. That's what I have been doing for the past 12 years. Christine is our COO, and she has more than 10 years of experience in business operation, and she has been my better half in this company. Andrew is our CTO, and he has extensive experience in taking the products from the lab all the way to the market throughout manufacturing. And Kurt is our project management, and he's a PhD and PMP, so he has extensive experience in managing projects professionally, and he has been helping us considerably. And we also have a group of engineers and software developers behind this. So the team together is 13 people, while the 4 of us is the management team.
You know, today maybe in each unicorn battle we see the startups which try to 3D print some human tissues or organs. Who do you think is your main competitor in the market today?
Yeah, I think our main competitor in the market today is definitely cell length umbrellas, because they do have these very fancy 3D printers out there. The difference is what we are trying to create is not one more bio printer out there for people to use. Well, what we are trying to focus is on creating tissue models that pharmaceutical companies can use. We are not trying to replace organs or anything. We are trying to provide pharmaceutical companies with a tool that is more reliable for them to test their drugs. And the fact that we are the first company implementing this vasculature in these tissue models allow pharmaceutical companies to test the drugs the same way that they would test on people through the blood vessels. So that's our biggest differential, is the way that we are creating these tissue models with our software.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you, Carolina. Please, question from Keith.
Hi, you showed us revenue projections that go from 0 to $35 million. Can you walk us through your roadmap, how you plan to get from 0 to 35 million?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So as I said, we are just going to go back to the go-to-market strategy. We are hitting the market with the consumables first. And the idea with taking these tissue models is to have validation from academic research centers in terms of quantitative data from third-party validation. So the tissue models are going to be sold for $350 per tissue model, and we have a margin of 70%. But the printers to be sold for $850,000, and we have a margin of 60% on the printer, without considering scaling up manufacturing. So the hockey stick that you see here is definitely once we start implementing the printer. Going from selling 5 machines a year to being able to scale up. And the tissue models, we believe that once we have enough printers in the lab right now, also printing the tissue models, we definitely can scale the tissue models as a service from us. So consumables market in the academia and research centers, it's a very promising market considering how much tissue models they would use in a month.
You had mentioned that you need to prove the model, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
right.
Yes. So we are doing the validation tests right now, but what we want and going to the market starting next year, it's also getting 3 key research centers to test and do the third-party validation to confirm all the results that we are doing. So we are currently engaged with partnership with a famous university and research centers to get that validation, not just done by us, but by also other people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina. Please answer the question from Savas. Savas?
Thanks, Julia. Actually, Keith answered my question 80%. I was wondering because last time, Carolina, sorry, you were driving on your car and we have chosen.
I was.
Sorry, nice to see you in one part. We are still here. But still continue on that, your last presentation last time, you were kind of giving me the idea that you are more in R&D research, and it has been a long time that you are bringing that product, which is a very nice product. I don't want to iterate Keith's question, but still something like you have to show more on invoicing part, I guess. Do you have any people, customers that you are testing or about to issue an invoice? Thanks.
Yeah, so right now, what I mean by the research is we are printing the tissue models in the lab right now. They're being printed from our printer, and we are just doing the validation tests to get the quantitative data in order to compare with animal models and humans. And right now what we are doing is engaging, starting partnership and also getting letters of intent. So our idea is to partner. We already have one university that we are partnering here in Canada. So the idea is to get another university from US and possibly a research center too, in order to get this also quantitative data. So our R&D process is very close to the end, and we are taking these products to the market next year. But what I'm saying in terms of the validation is just in terms of quantitative data to give the public another stamp, not just from VoxCell, but from other institutions also testing these tissue models.
Good, thank you, Carolina, so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, good luck to you. Okay, guys, so let me introduce our next participant with a really interesting name, the Better Tomorrow Project. Please welcome Torsten Mechel. From the USA.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Very nice to meet you, everybody. I hope you can see my screen. I'm going to switch between a few slides and a quick video, and I'm going to start the timer right now. What is the Better Tomorrow Project? We are founded in 2020 between Germany and the US. We have a brilliant scientific team that actually developed a fantastic technology years ago, but never made use of it. So our company, the Better Tomorrow Project, has global rights to a patented technology. So far, we received $20 million in funding, and we're expected to go public in the next 90 days. What is our mission? Like the Better Tomorrow, developed by renowned scientists, we provide innovative, disruptive, and patented solutions to bring clean air and water to the world. Because what is amongst the biggest global challenges of this century, not only in North America, in the European Union, but in Africa and Asia? It is clean air, clean water, and clean technologies. This is vital for us as human beings. Polluted air is one of the biggest threats. A great study came out, Reuters covered it. Fossil fuel pollution causes 1 in 5 premature deaths globally. This is huge. I know we have a lot of other sicknesses, but let's look at the root cause. How are these sicknesses that we suffer from caused? They are mostly caused from ultrafine particles that are smaller than 300 nanometers They invade our natural body's defense system, they lodge deep in the lungs, and from there they go into our bloodstream, our cells, causing sicknesses like asthma, cancer, COPD, and so forth. And as we know from last year, COVID-19 is among those ultrafine particles in terms of size. Current technologies out there, filter systems, ionization systems. Filters are not effective, they're physically too big to capture what we need to capture. Introducing chemicals into the air, they might help against viruses, but not against ultrafine particles, and they create harmful byproducts. And therefore, our inventor, Professor Lute, and his team came up with the technology, and I'm going to play a 30-second video.
Introducing Atlafizer, the world's most effective clean air technology against harmful ultrafine particles and viruses like COVID-19. Here's how it works. As a fan takes in the air, the Atlafizer's patented ultrasonic technology creates a standing wave that captures the particles and viruses and clumps them together, bunching them up like a snowball. The pressure and heat cracking their protective shells and then being obliterated by UV light. The harmless debris that remains is safely expelled, removing the need to ever change a filter again.
And to run through the rest. So we're the first and only technology to be able to remove ultrafine particles. We're most sustainable, first verified by the UL, TÜV certified, and we are modular. That means we can integrate, we can license, we can do joint ventures through different industries. The market is pretty much endless. We already have distribution and sale of products with our own air purifiers, the one that you just saw in the video. We have a B2B distribution approach throughout the entire world. It's a 10 billion, growing 10 billion market globally. And yeah, 3 minutes are up. I hope this.
Yeah, thank you so much for being in time. It was a Torsten. Please, the first question from Kate.
Yes.
Can you tell us where the $20 million went?
Yes, $20 million. We just finished the funding round about a week and a half ago. A lot of it went into the securement of critical components. We have critical components that are unique to our technology, so we've purchased a lot on them with a global shortage. We started purchasing those back in November already. In manufacturing and building the team, we're 20 people in Team Germany and team in the US, between Miami, Florida, where I'm based, and Gronau, Germany. And we pretty much use that capital to scale the production, but also to develop the technology amongst other industries. We are in touch with leaders in aviation industry and automotive industry, HVAC industry, and that requires a lot of engineering work and co-development budgets, R&D.
Good, thank you for the answer. Please, Jim, your question.
So this is your first product, and then what's the, I guess, the innovation cycle? You expect to come out with several products, and what does that time frame look like?
Yeah, actually, innovation is really the technology. We think we are strong in the sixth wave of innovations, the clean tech wave, because this technology, the patented ultrasonic technology, filters out ultrafine particles out of the air, which no other technology does. But we also work underwater. If you think about water purification, we can filter out bacteria, we can filter out viruses. We cannot take out dust or other pollutants just yet. But we can also agglomerate microparticles that are a threat to a lot of water supply worldwide. So the technology is the core. We develop core components, but we also sell standalone air purifiers just yet, because that's what we started being excited creating this company during the pandemic, where everybody was looking for what's the best solution for your house to protect your family. So the air purifier sells already. The integration part is underway.
Thanks.
Thanks. A question from Alexander.
Oh, I didn't find any funding round about your company on the Crunchbase. Did you have already, or it's just a new company and 20 million were invested in the previous company?
Can you repeat the first part? You didn't find anything where?
About funding.
Yeah. So as it's shown on the first slide, formerly known as Vaccinator Enterprises Inc. We just engaged a new marketing agency. We initiated the name change, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. So if you Google formerly known Vaccinator Enterprises, you will find a bunch of things on Crunchbase and an announcement to use an RTO to go public. And you will find that our lead investor is a publicly traded fund, Soul Global.
Thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Please, Gaurav, your question.
Can you tell me how this equipment would work for wastewater treatment or for industrial facilities?
Yeah.
Have you conducted pilot studies across the wastewater treatment and industrial plants?
We have not reached out to large wastewater treatment companies. We are in discussions with the local municipality in Germany because there's a lot of interest. We focus on the air right now, and water is pretty much the next step. This is something we're thinking of rolling out in 2022 because we actually doing more funding. We got European grants to do more research in that way. Removal of bacteria has already been proven. Now we want to find out what else the technology can do underwater. And in terms of industrial integration, we have industries, for example, world leader in welding fume extraction that are extremely excited about this technology because they acknowledge that ultrafine particles exist that are a threat and they need to be eliminated. Other industries actually, they don't acknowledge that ultrafine particles exist, or they think that filters are good enough. So we are pretty much branching out to a lot of industries. We're partnering up with them who acknowledge that ultrafine particles exist, that the technology works, and then we go after those who still need to be worked on.
I think it would be unique to see the results you achieve because the waste in the industrial water treatment goes beyond viruses and bacteria, yeah? But thank you.
Absolutely. The waste is enormous. And thinking about water and air treatment, the energy is beyond. If you think about clean rooms, wafer production, if you think about any sorts of hospitals, any sorts of car manufacturing where you have to paint, the energy behind those clean rooms, even though they seem like a small facility, is beyond.
Correct.
So this technology can not only reduce the amount of ultrafine particles to almost zero, but the chain behind, the energy saving compared to traditional systems is enormous.
Okay, Thorsten, thank you so much for your answers. Unfortunately, we should stop the QA session. Please.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was Startup, the Better Tomorrow project. And our last startup for today, but not least, Remedium Bio. Please welcome Alex Garalchuk. The USA also.
USA. Hello everybody. My name is Frank Lupino. I'm the CEO of Remedium Bio. Remedium is a startup gene therapy company in the Boston area. And we were founded on a principle that we believe biological sciences have advanced to such a point that nearly all disease can be cured with novel combinations of technologies that are already proven. And our lead product is an example of this. Osteoarthritis is a disease characterized by progressive cartilage degradation. And it presents a significant challenge and burden not only to the patients who suffer from this disease, but also the healthcare system. And sadly, with OA, there are zero products that actually work to slow the progression of this disease. There are therapeutics that are available, but they're all palliative. They treat the symptoms of OA only. None of them are capable of regenerating cartilage. Unfortunately, the only way to slow the degradation of cartilage associated with OA is to remove all your remaining cartilage with a joint replacement surgery. Now, this situation isn't for a lack of trying. Because of the significant unmet need here and the very large market potential, a number of approaches have been tried. None of these therapeutic approaches have worked except for one, human fibroblast growth factor FGF18. It is the only therapeutic agent that has been shown in clinical study to be able to increase the thickness of cartilage. But this treatment modality suffers from the same limitations as all potential therapeutic treatments for osteoarthritis. If you try to deliver this systemically, you cannot get enough concentration to the cartilage in order to achieve a clinical benefit. If you try to deliver it locally, inject it directly into the joint, it doesn't hang around for very long. So you cannot maintain high enough concentrations in order to get a significant clinical benefit. Now, Remedium has solved this problem with a unique and a proprietary technology. So what we do is we use gene therapy to reprogram the cells on an arthritic joint so that they express therapeutic levels of the FGF18 protein to create an environment that's conducive to joint health and cartilage growth. A single injection to a potential cure for osteoarthritis. We've assembled a management team and scientific advisors that can make this a reality. We know osteoarthritis. We developed many of the leading products that are on the market in the US today. We know biologic and gene therapy development, and we have experience growing small companies into large companies. We were founded just in 2020, and in a few months, we've accomplished quite a bit. What we're most excited about is that we've attracted the attention of a leading university osteoarthritis laboratory with whom we're finalizing a collaboration that will lead to in vitro and in vivo data on our unique gene therapy approach to OA in early 2022, and will be followed by a series of presentations and publications. We think these data can lead to a transformational Series A raise in early 2022, and we're currently expanding our seed raise in order to move forward with this collaboration. So in summary, we think we have the right team, the right approach and technology to crack the largest unmet need in rheumatology and unlock the massive market potential of a disease-modifying therapy for osteoarthritis. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Perfect. So that was our last startup. Please, question from Kate.
You had mentioned osteoarthritis, but then you were also talking about cartilage. Can you tell us how is this different than, let's say, stem cell therapies?
Cell therapies, I developed a cell therapy myself for cartilage regeneration. They work for focal defects, trauma, focal defects that go through the cartilage to the bone. You need to put the cells in there and you need to keep them there for a period of time, and there's different technologies to do that. And you can regenerate cartilage that way. Cell therapies don't work for osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis is the wear and tear version.
Yeah, so in other words, it works for certain. So in other words, it'll work for bone, but not necessarily, so stem cells will work for tissue, but not bone. Is that the difference?
They'll work for small lesions where you can control placement of the cells and you can keep them there with the scaffold or other technology. But for the general wear and tear associated with osteoarthritis across the entire cartilage, that's not a solution.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alexander, please, your question.
Yeah, maybe is it a stupid question, or maybe it's really hard to understand, but how do you reprogram this DNA? Can you explain?
So with gene therapy, what you need is a vehicle or a vector that it's called. You package new DNA into that vector, and this would be injected into the joint, and the vectors get the DNA instructions into the cell. It doesn't alter your genome. It's somewhat similar to the mRNA vaccines with COVID that everybody's familiar with. So you get the DNA, the genetic instructions for making the protein into the cells in the knee, and then the cell machinery takes over, makes the protein and expresses it into the joint.
Okay, thank you very much. Great.
Okay, so no questions more. Oh, we have Marisa, please.
So you cannot grow cartilage, right?
We can. FGF18, no matter where it's been used in vitro, animal studies, and human data, has been shown to do a couple things. Help chondrocytes proliferate and increase the expression of extracellular matrix of a hyaline-like cartilage. So we can grow cartilage with this.
Good, perfect. So
we still have one.
Yeah, we do.
One more question.
Yeah, we do have time.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Who were your past investors in the past?
We were seeded, I think I put it on the other slide, with a very small friends and family raise. We are adding to that seed now for this collaboration with Tufts. So we're an early stage startup who's achieved quite a bit in a short period of time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last question from Kit, quickly.
What would you say that the next 3 major milestones are for you and over what time period?
This collaboration with the university, it's Tufts University here in Boston, will yield in vivo data in a rat OA model that has been used and accepted by the FDA, and it's predictive of clinical results. We'll have initial data from that collaboration in early 2022. So the seed raise now is to get us beyond that. That's the first big milestone to get those data. Secondarily, will then be a Series A raise that we think will be transformational because it will allow us to really accelerate the program to IND readiness. So the second milestone would be completing that raise. And then after that, there's technical work we need to do, GLP studies, a handful of them that we're already talking to CMOs about, that would, in our mind, completely de-risk the program from a larger biotech or pharma acquirer. Those studies will take place over the course of 2022, essentially, and into early 2023.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. It was Startup Remedium Bio. You were our last hero for today, of today's battle. And please welcome Anna Fedorova.
Yes, thank you, Julia. It was great pitches from startups, dear judges. I remind you that you have to vote for the startups, and you have almost 2 minutes to finish doing this. You can change your votes. You already have heard all the pitches of the startups, and we will close the votes and we'll have the winner. But before we let the winner know who he or she is, we will talk to our official judges. They will justify their votes. They will say who was their favorite and why, and little interesting things like that. But for all of you panelists, please pay attention to our poll. Our poll is a little bit different now. We used to do surveys within VCs, and right now it's about startups you've heard pitching today. Please choose one. Who will win today's unicorn battle? This is just to find out how this poll will be different from the official voting of our judges. Okay.
yields that's going to keep them around. But look, we're always going to see great things coming out of this because people are doing this, for altruistic reasons. I think it's great. And I think what's even better is for these companies to succeed. I think there's a lot of challenges, though, a lot of headwinds and a lot of, there's just a lot of obstacles from the business side and from regulation and from proving concepts. And a lot of things don't necessarily get replicated. They may get replicated in a certain environment, but as you scale, it's not the case. So it's exciting time, and I think we're going to see great things to continue, just like the things we see now that we didn't see 40 years ago. So it's great that people are doing it. I love all of these projects.
Wonderful. Yes, yeah. I'm also very excited, and I'm excited that the women founders started winning our battles, and we have more and more really great startups created by women.
It would be great if we could have her on our podcast, because we just had our first woman founder who came on. It would be great to have more of them come on and share their story.
Absolutely. Yes. And Savash, I didn't have a chance to ask you, and you are traveling between Turkey and Canada, right? And what do you think about today's selection startups? And do you agree with our votes today that they
yes.
picked VoxCell?
I put Remedium #1 actually, and also Better Tomorrow. There were two great presentations alongside with our Canadian fellow Elocity Tech. This time I didn't vote for VoxCell, but the last time I had put her the #1. As you mentioned, due to this COVID, I'm more or less in Istanbul and Germany, back and forth. But we are still in presentation in Toronto. About your question, last time there was another unicorn battle, Anna. Remember, Anna was
in New York, you mean?
Yeah, in
Unicorn
New York.
Pitches, yes.
Did you realize there were so many startups working on sleeping or awaking people? Like somehow in North America, sleep and being awake, two different concepts. And this time also we are facing more or less like medical people. But I'm telling you, this is one of the greatest startups I ever see in Startup Network event. Really? Solid. All of the presentations were very good. But Keith was stealing my questions. I'm going to be more quicker next time, raise my hand.
Raising hands, right?
And Alexander was in great shape today, and we were just watching these two gentlemen very nicely. About the question, what I'm thinking, I'm still thinking like digital world is going to be the ultimate winner in next decade, because some people want us to be digitized. And we are in interim position, and thanks to this medical people, they want to think us that we are still in COVID, and this will continue more and more, and we have to protect ourselves. And thanks to the Better Tomorrow and Remedium and VoxCell, that everybody was so scared. But ultimately, the aim is we all be digitized, and maybe we are going to, maybe my kids is going to carry some chips, and they are going to track where they are going. Initially, medical people are going to win. We are going to see some unicorns, but ultimately, whoever goes to this digital assets, digitization of assets and digital money, whatever, they are going to be 10 times unicorns. That's what I believe in North America. Thank you.
Thank you, Savash, for sharing that. Dear judges, expert board and guests, please put on your video if you want me to ask you questions, because I can ask only people I see with the video on. And Jim, do you agree with the ways that today's expert board and juries had voted with the number 3, number 2, and number 1?
Yeah, those were great presentations, and the technology certainly sounds promising. Like I mentioned, you know, at Kirinaga, we're not as much on the bio and life sciences, and so I definitely have a bias towards the hard tech. And I do, you know, I do really like, as Keith mentioned, you know, the advancement around, you know, energy capture and energy distribution is going to, you know, I believe in, you know, 5 to 10 years, we're going to be mostly buying and selling EV vehicles, but we also have to make, you know, we're living in such an exciting time that we could be, that we'll be starting to cure diseases, and then hopefully, you know, curing diseases of, you know, that our planet suffers from as well through, you know, pollution and other things. So I think we're, you know, I give talks on this all the time. I think we're living in the most exciting time in human history, and the fact that we all get to participate in funding these companies and helping these companies and push the technology forward is, you know, just it's a great business to be in. So appreciate what you guys do.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Marisa, I'm sure you share my opinion that more women founders with the great startups, it's a great pleasure to have, right? And
yeah, we need 55% women startups though. So we're not, we're starting, but we're not even close because we're a majority of the population, even though we keep being called a minority. And so when we get to 55%, then I'll feel good about it, that we finally made it.
Yeah, but you voted for VoxCell not because they're women, but because of the great solution, right?
We have the great solution, right? And we need more female investors also. That would help the women-founded startups, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely, wonderful. Kelly, are you happy with our winners?
Thank you so much, Anna, for organizing such a wonderful event. In my own opinion, there's no gender in the tech business. It really depends on how, as a team, we see the market opportunity and what kind of product or service or solutions we can bring to the market. And there's no gender here, really, based on my over almost 20 years experience in the tech industry. So what we prefer is actually in the future, what our focus for the investment is to see whether this company actually can better utilize what we call big data and to equip with all the artificial intelligence, like algorithms, as well as blockchain to secure the data. And then how fast they can actually have their MVP to just test the market, and how it really depends on the entrepreneurs and their team members and how flexibly they can actually adapt their product to for the feedback from the market and to accelerate with the channel partners or with any strategic partners.
Okay, thank you. Well, these startups are in the right place because North America is the greatest ecosystem in the world to develop their products and to scale up. So I wish our startups all the luck. The last judge I see on my screen is Alexander. Alexander, are you happy with the results? Have you picked some startups that we are going to invest in again? You're muted. You're muted. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, Anna. Sorry. Yes, I like the startups and I'm thinking about it, about investing, but we need, of course, to talk more because 3-minute presentation, it's a very short presentation. And so we are going to make some meetings and then make a decision.
Wonderful. Okay. So then I have only one thing left to say, Julia, thank you for the great event and to invite all of you to come in a week at our Unicorn Cup finals to find out who is that ultimate winner of this summer in the Unicorn.Events. We will select, thanks to our judges, the best startup that we had found through scanning through the whole globe. We had great season. Many of you had been with us through all the season, had seen those battles, but the winner can be only one. So please come and we will see who the winner will be. So see you next time in a week. Thank you all for coming. Great event. See you all.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Anna. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thanks.